What's happening, guys? ATHEiUS here. I'm going to be showing you a quick Photoshop tutorial on how to create like this molten metal effect. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to come into this layer here. Now this texture that I'm using, I'm going to put in the download link so you'll be able to find that there. So you want to create a new layer. I'm going to come to your brush tool and you want to make sure you've got a 4 pixel brush selected and your hardness is all the way up. And you want to create a stroke, like a line, just with a slight little curve on it. Sorry about the whistling in the background. Okay, now once you've created this, you're going to come down to your smudge tool, and with a brush size of about 25 and the hardness we're going to put at about 50, and the strength we're going to bring down to about 20%. That'll do. And you just want to smudge it slightly down. I just continue this all the way along the line. And then once you've done it, you want to create another new layer, and you want to come back up to your brush tool, and you want to change your pixel size to 1, and you want to change your foreground colour to white. And you just want to take your time here, really. I'm going to be rushing it, but you just want to go on the outside of the black stroke that you've just created. I'm not going to be making this to a precision, I'm just doing it just purely just to give you an idea of what you've got to do to get the effect. Okay, then once you've created your white line, you want to change it to overlay. I'm just going to put a little bit more on this here because it's missed. Okay, and then you want to come back down to your layers and you want to create a new, and you want to change the colour to black, and you just want to change this up a little bit. You're somewhere between 1 and 4, I'm going to be using 4, and you just want to put in a little bit of shadow, so I'm going to have a little bit of shadow here, and we're going to put, I'm going to put a little bit up here and another little bit up here. And you want to come back over to your smudge tool, and you just want to smudge this up. Okay, once you've done this, you want to create another new layer, and you want to change the colour to white. You want to change your brush size to 1, and you just want to put a couple of little highlights in. And you come back to your smudge tool. You want to create another new layer, and you go back to black, and then you just want to put another line just above the select brush, that'd help. You're going to put another line just above the line that you've just created. And then again, smudge this one down into the white. I'm just going to put a little bit more on this bit here. Then you want to create another new layer with black still selected. Just want to create a couple of little cracks in the metal, so I'm going to be putting one just here. And I'll put another one just here. Then you want to create another new layer. Select white with one pixel still selected. Just go around the edge. And select this and go to overlay. Now with the texture that we put on earlier, you just want to go onto it, Control J to duplicate it, and then you just want to drag it up to the top, and you want to put it as overlay, and you want to change the opacity. Well, I'm going to say about roughly about 75. I'm going to zoom out, and then what you want to do is you want to select all your layers. So if you hold down Shift, click on the top layer, and then the bottom layer, is select them all, and just right click, duplicate layers. OK. You want to hit Control T, and then you just want to hold down Shift to make it smaller. You don't have to hold Shift, depends on what you want. So if you wanted to do it like this, then you release Shift, and you just want to apply this. Actually, you want to rotate this, sorry. And then you want to place this one on the end of one of the ones that you've created to bring it back in. So I'm going to just do it about here, and then you want to apply, and then just add some shadows to this bit here because it's going to look funny with no shadow, and maybe a little highlight, more of a highlight here. So I'm going to come back up to the top, select a new layer, back to our brush tool, make sure we've got white selected. I just want to put a little highlight on here. I'll change this to overlay, maybe a little bit more. I want to put a tiny little bit more in here as well. And then you want to come to your marquee. Actually, we'll use the eraser, and we're going to just rub away this bit, this part here, because I don't actually like the shape of this. So I'm just going to go through the layers, taking out all the shading, shadow, all the smudges. Unless you name it, if you name it, it'll be far easier to do. Okay, so a couple more, and one more to go. Okay, and then you want to come back down to your original 7 layers, hold down Shift, select them all, you want to duplicate again, you want to hit Control and T to rotate. I'm just going to move this one to about here. I'm going to click Apply. I'm going to actually make it a bit smaller. I'm going to click Apply, and then you're going to repeat the process again of rubbing it all out. So I'm just going to take out these bits here, and come down to 1, 2, once you've got all your shapes back and they're meeting up to where you want them, you're going to come back up to the top, create another new layer, foreground colour black, brush tool, and you just want to fill in, not with that size because you'll be there all day, so move that up and change the hardness down. You want to fill in all your gap where your hole would be, just fill it in. Let's change this down a tiny bit. And obviously you'd still have your the rest of this if you would have carried on along here to fill this in, because it looks a bit silly. There was obviously a bit missing. So for now I'm just going to create another new layer. Select white. I'm going to put 1 megapixel on, and I'm just going to go around it just to give it a highlight. I'm going to come down here because I'm going to put a little split here. And you want to set that to overlay. I'm going to just put a couple more bits in. And you want to create another new layer. Select black and just fill in here where we put the crack. Select another new layer. I'm just going to put a little bit more shadow in. Change the megapixel. It's not a camera. Change the pixels to about, I'm going to say 25, and make them soft. I'm just going to come around here. I'm going to take this down a little bit. And I'm going to change the opacity. Just bring it down a little bit. And create another new layer. Select white. And change the pixels. It's about 3. I'm just going to put a couple more highlights on. And come to my smudge tool. I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm just going to smudge these into the black. Okay, this is just to give you an idea on it. Obviously if you took your time, you'd end up with a much better result like I had in the first one. And then you can put your own logo in, put a bit more of a texture over it. And if you just take your time with it, and you'll get a much better result. I mean, I've only had 12 minutes, so if you spend a good half an hour on it, you'll have a nice result. If you want to see more tutorials, just leave me a like and a comment. Also, just put a tutorial, put a comment on there saying which tutorial you want to see, and I'll try and get something done for you. Alright, thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.